What's up? This is the only intro I'm shooting for this video. Other than that, we're getting straight into chopping the radiator neck, lowering these coolant lines, and getting things done. Other than that, it's just me, my long-haired hillbilly self. I don't know what all I've recorded recently or posted, but the whole wiring is gone. The wiring harness is completely stripped. Carb is gone. All the fuel stuff on top is gone. This is a coolant overflow line. Other than that, everything's pretty much torn down. There's new front tire, new front brake pads. I have nothing on order yet. I'm beginning to do the neck chop. I'll weld in a gusset right here. The coolant fill neck is going to be here. And then we'll start moving on to the back and hardtailing it. Other than that, it'll be throttle or handlebars and stuff, throttle, and that's with that. Everything else, pretty much just simplified and down to the bare bones. I'm debating on pulling the motor. I really don't have the room for it right now, as we are in my garage because it's nighttime and I work until dark. Other than that, let's get into it.
When everything is dead and done, my people want a piece of that pie. Yeah. When everything decays and rots, placed inside the safest spot inside the earth, y'all find the time to find its worth. Post-mortem, postpartum, post-baloney. Pray they fucking post-Malone me, build a shrine. Yeah. My mausoleum, tall and steeped in what I used to feel the time I shed the gloves, I'm building mine. Fuck waiting till I die. You little sheep shouting about little peep. I bet you never liked a fucking song. You talking about his face tats up in your mentions way back, and how you figured that shit it wasn't wrong. You motherfucking cowards could be hours from a cold slump of tissues. What's the difference when you die and leave this earth? Yeah, I'm in my feelings, eating peelings of tobacco, where tobacco might as well just do my dirt. I'm not waiting. I'm digging up a pit for me to die inside of, cause I don't trust these shaky hands. No. I'm digging through your little stack of lies that piled up, so you don't have to face me, man, I'll do it for you. I got my shovel, got my...
Alright. I got coolant all over the floor. I got the hose and thermostat and junk out. I got coolant draining in a pail. So as far as this goes, I wish I had a workbench. This is your neck to the radiator. I measured it, held it up there and looked at it. And that's about the point where, you know, this sleeve or this hose will go over the neck of the radiator, which will keep the thermostat housing above the top of the head. And along with that, your fill cap will be, it'll be up there. So I'm going to take these hoses off along with the overflow, and then I'm going to put a hose clamp on here and then cut it. And what the hose clamp does is it gives you a straight line to cut off of. So let me do that. Some red underneath, so the hose clamp is definitely straighter. You get the point. So to cut it, I'm going to be using a PVC cutter. It's always worked out well for me. I've cut quite a few hoses with it. So I'm going to clamp down. So to show you kind of what I meant, I think this beam right here is going to be in the way. But other than that, the hose will slide over there. Yeah, the beam's in the way, or the brace, or whatever it's called. And the hose clamp goes back down. And then the fill spout's lowered. These were going to be lower. and everything is happy. Alright, so what I'm going to do, because what I notice is it's leaning, so let's say the frame is here, it's leaning kind of like that versus leaning back how it was originally, because when it leans back like that, it makes the thermostat level. So as you can see, it's got that face versus this was like flush with the frame, which makes the thermostat on a slope, if that makes sense. So we need it to be more like that. So what I'm going to do is you can kind of see the curvature on this hose. I'm going to spin the hose around. If not, I'm going to cut a section out of the other hose that I cut off because that has a big twisty in it, and we'll use that. So this is the bottom piece of hose. It seems to be lining up better. It could be shortened some, but you can see how this bar right here is blocking the fill port, and so it's not allowing it to sit naturally. So what I'm going to end up doing is coming back, cutting there and there. So cutting the neck out, essentially cutting this bracket out, cutting the bracket off here, smoothing it out with a flap disc, and then we'll worry about this. So this part is all going to be in one video as far as the neck chop and the coolant drop. And so, like I said, cut, smooth it out with a flap disc, and then we'll work on the coolant drop, because these coolant lines are facing straight down, and I can't have that, because these need to, you know, go out to that port and then the port over there on the back side of the head.
I got my tuxedo, I got my shovel, got my gloves, I got my tuxedo, I got my shovel, got my gloves, I got my tuxedo, yo.
When I die, fuck it, I wanna go to hell, 'cause I'm a piece of shit, it ain't hard to fucking tell.
The day is over, your head full of cerebral kaijus. She tries to comfort you and read your eyes to see inside you. She sees you hurt, so she decides to give you a hug and seeks to find you as you proceed to feed your ceaseless cycle. Sick of this shit, drowning in shit. Sick of you working the depth that you get. Broken this shit and you doubt that you'll fix. Diagnosed back in 2006. Routine got you in a hole and you helped digging it. Started off small.
Shout out to the old man for cutting the neck supports out. As far as that goes, also chopped out the tab that sits right here, which mounts the thermostat. So from here, take a grinding wheel, grind these down, and then flap disc it till it's smooth and it's just a round tube. Same goes with up here, and then this tab back here along with the other side. And then my plan for structural rigidity is to have a take like some thick steel, not quite 1/4 inch, and then make it like a gusset for in here to add some strength and structural rigidity. As far as the coolant net goes, I'm gonna hold off on that until this is all smooth and painted, probably. This way no metal shavings or anything get in there. New day, picked up a pack of flap disc and 2 grinding discs. I'm about to go at the frame and grind it all smooth. I'm only going to record it for a little bit, then I'll turn the camera off because I'm running out of sunlight because I just got off work, and so I'll save battery and card space.
Yeah, never see you calling out the bitterness. Is the lack of balls or just intellect? She going through a lot of pain too, dealing with her shit as well. She doesn't toss her 2 cents into wishing well. She wish you well. The day is over, your head full of cerebral kaijus. She's sick of trying to save you all the time, believes it's idle. The day is over, your head full of cerebral kaijus. Tonight's the last time that she'll sleep beside you.
I'm digging up a pit for me to die inside her, 'cause I don't trust these shaky hands. No. I'm digging through your little stack of lies that piled up, so you don't have to face me, man, I'll do it for you. I I got my shovel, got my gloves, I got my tuxedo. I got my shovel, got my gloves, I got my tuxedo. I got my shovel, got my gloves, I got my tuxedo. Yo.
When I die, fuck it, I wanna go to hell. Cause I'm a piece of shit, it ain't hard to fucking tell.
That's done, but I guess camera zoom in. I accidentally hit the radiator neck. It'll be okay, but sheesh, that was close. Not working on that. I can just, it's gonna be a big ass pain. Alright, so it's done. I smoothened it out with the flap disc as best as I could. Took me a while to get it real good. And then sanded it by hand with 400 grit. Or not 400, but 80 grit. And so it's ultra smooth. And there's like weird ridges and stuff like right here. So I'm hoping that that won't be too noticeable, I guess. And then on the inside there's ridges where I wasn't able to get the flap disc. Same with the other side. Looks pretty good. Same here. As you can see, the coolant neck is in. I may or may not make a bracket so it sits like that. I don't know. I mean, it sits fine. I ordered some aluminum tubing, so I'll run hard lines going across versus just a whole rubber hose. So that'll be cool. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this off, clean the whole motor and everything, cover it all back up, and then hit it with some or sand it with 400 grit, hit it with filler primer, sand the filler primer, and then do it again, probably 2 or 3 coats. And then I'm gonna take this off, clean up the thermostat, and possibly paint it. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, so let's get to it. When I clean the bike, I just use Windex and a microfiber blank. That's all you need in my opinion, as long as it's not dirty, like it's just dust.
Drone for Allie?
Yeah.